Hello students, today in this class we are going to see the chapter number 2, which is current electricity. Students, this lesson is a very important lesson, and this lesson will teach you some more important topics in this current and the applications of current. This is our episode number 1, and today we are going to learn about electric current, drift velocity and mobility of an electron. There are a lot of misconceptions about the batteries and the charges. So we are going to see what are the misconceptions, and let's learn the answers for these misconceptions. Then microscopic model of current, then current density, and finally an important law in terms of physics. Ohm's law is the very important law, and today we are going to see the law about the electric current. Come, let's move to the topic today. Do you know, in reality, the charges are always moving within the materials. For example, electrons in a copper wire are never at rest and are continuously in random motion. And it is important to analyze the behavior of charges when it is at motion. So this electric current is the fact about the charges and their motions. As you know, the matter is made up of atoms. Each atom consists of positively charged nucleus with negatively charged electrons moving around the nucleus, and the atoms in metals have one or more electrons which are loosely bound to the nucleus. These electrons are called free electrons, and it can be easily detached from the atoms. So the substance which are abundance of these free electrons are called conductors. In the last lesson we saw a lot about the conductors. When a potential difference is applied by the battery across the ends of the conductor, we saw the conductor have two ends, one is positive and another one is negative. The free electrons drift towards the positive terminal of the battery and producing a net electric current. That's why the motion of charges is called electric current. Now, if a net charge Q passes through any cross section of a conductor in time t, then the current is defined as I is equal to charge divided by time. That means Q by T. But the charge flow is not always constant. Okay, so the current can more generally defined as I average is equal to del Q divided by del T. That means del Q is the amount of charge that passes through the conductor at any cross section during the time interval del T. So if the rate at which charge flows changes in time, the current also changes. Remember, if you take tube light or a fan, if you switch off the switch, but the current still in that wire between the fan and the switch, so there is no loss of current in between the connection. The instantaneous current I is defined as the limit of the average current as del T to 0. I is equal to limit del T to 0, and now del Q by del T is equal to derivative of charge divided by derivative of time. As you know, The SI unit of current is ampere and it is denoted by the symbol A. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb divided by 1 second, or 1 ampere of current is equivalent to 1 coulomb of charge which is passing through a perpendicular cross section in 1 second. The electric current is a scalar quantity. Let's see about the conventional current. In an electric circuit, arrowheads are used to indicate the direction of flow of current, and the flow of the circuit should be from the positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal. Now, the current is called conventional current or simply current, and it is the direction in which positive test charge would move. This shows the switch is off and on. When you see it is on, the light glow, but when it is off, the light used to diminish. The circuit shows the on and off of the electric current. A transfer of positive charge, that's the important thing. A transfer of positive charge is the same as a transfer of negative charge in the opposite direction. This positive over opposite and negative directions. Electric current is not only produced by the batteries in nature. Lightning bolt produces enormous electric current in a short time, and during lightning, very high potential difference is created between the clouds and ground. So charges flow between the clouds and ground, but unfortunately, even in the modern science world, we are not able to store this charges and this current. If we save all that charges in a battery or some other equipments, then we can use it for so many years. Now, drift velocity. Subatomic particles like electrons move in random direction in all the time, and when electrons are subjected to electric field, they do move randomly. I think you all know about the word randomly, okay? But they slowly drift in one direction. The electrons slowly drift in one direction, in the direction of the electric field applied. They move towards the electric field. The net velocity at which these electrons drift is known as drift velocity. In other words, average velocity attained by charged particles, example electrons, in a material due to an electric field is called drift velocity. The SI unit of drift velocity is meter per second, and it is measured in m square divided by v dot s. The acceleration a vector experienced by the electron in an electric field E vector, which is a vector acceleration, is equal to small e into capital E vector divided by m. As you know, acceleration is equal to force divided by mass. Since F is equal to minus E electron into electric field, the drift velocity Vd is equal to a vector into tau. That means Vd is equal to minus E tau divided by m into capital E vector. We put this value here. Okay, we put, instead of a vector, we put this value here. And Vd is equal to minus mu E vector. Now, mobility of an electron. The drift velocity of an electron for a unit electric field is known as the mobility of the electron, and the mobility of an electron is calculated by Okay, let's calculate the mobility of electron. Nu is equal to E tau divided by m, which we take from the drift velocity, and mu is equal to Vd mod. Dear students, there are lot of misconceptions about this electric charges and the batteries. See, let me give a question and an answer for about this. In our book, there is a question about this misconception, that is, if an electron drift with some speed, then the electrons leaving the battery will take hours to reach the electric bulb. Then how electric bulbs glow as soon as we switch on the battery. You can see the electric bulbs will glow as soon as we switch on the battery. Is it so? It is because when battery is switched on, the electrons begins to move away from the negative terminal. Can you tell me which is the negative terminal of this battery? This is the negative terminal of the battery, and this is the positive terminal of the battery. Now the electrons begins to move away from the negative terminal of the battery, and this electrons exerts a force on the nearby electrons. See, you can see this electrons exerts a force on the nearby electrons. This process creates a propagating influence, that means the electric field. Here the influence is that this electrons create a electric field around this propagation, and that travels through the wire at the speed of light. This electrons travels through a wire with the speed of light. That means the 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. In other words, let me explain. The energy is transported from the battery to light, that means a bulb, at the speed of light through propagating influence, that is the electric field, and due to this reason the electric bulbs glow as soon as the battery is switched on. This is the reason why the electric bulbs glow as soon as we switch on the battery. Okay, now let's go for the next misconceptions. The next misconceptions. Okay, there is a common misconception that the battery is the source of electrons. Is it true? Let me show a battery which is having a electrons which is flow from negative to positive. Dear students, when a battery is connected across the given wire, this given wire, the electrons in the closed circuit resulting the current. That's why it used to glow. Battery sets the potential difference, that means the electrical energy, due to which these electrons in the conducting wire flow in a particular direction. You can see this flows in a particular direction, that means from negative to positive. The resulting electrical energy is used by the electric bulb, electric fans, etc. Similarly, the electricity board is supplying the electrical energy to our home. This is the process by which our electricity board TNEB used to supply the electric current to our home. The next misconception is, we often use the phrases like charging the battery in my mobile and my mobile phone battery has no charge, etc. These sentences are not correct, because when we say battery has no charge, it means that the battery has lost ability to provide energy, or provide potential difference to the electrons in the circuit. When we say mobile is charging, it implies that the battery is receiving energy from AC power supply and not from the electrons. These are the small misconceptions we have about the charging and charges and battery. Next important topic, microscopic model of current. Let us see what we have here. We have a long tube with one cross-sectional area. We have a drift velocity here. Okay, the distance which we taken here is the dx, and let's see. The drift velocity of the electron is equal to Vd, that we know. The electrons move through a distance of dx within small interval of time dt. We take only the electrons move in this part. Okay, we don't bother about the full length travel. Only we take this cross-sectional area. Therefore, Vd is equal to dx by dt, or dx is equal to Vd into t. Let us take this as a equation number 1. Since A is the area of cross section, A is the area of cross section of the conductor, the electrons available in the volume of the length dx, this volume is volume into number per unit volume. That means A dx into n. Here the volume is referred as A dx and the number per unit volume is equal to n. So this is the equation number 2. Now substitute the value of dx from the equation 1 in the equation 2. Then we get A v dt into the A Vd into dt into n. The total charge in volume element dq is equal to charge into number of electrons in the volume element. dq is equal to E electron whole bracket into A Vd, which is area of cross section, and drift velocity into the derivative of time close to bracket and n. That means the number of electrons. Hence the current I is equal to dq by dt. We put Ne A Vd into dt. Now here we can cancel this dt and dt. So we get I is equal to number of electrons in area of cross sectional with the drift velocity NeAVd. Let's see the facts about the current density, which is referred by the letter J. The current density J is defined as the current per unit area of cross section of the conductor. In the microscopic model of current, we take only a limited area of cross section, and in that limited area of cross section we take the value of current I is equal to NeAVd. So here the current density also current per unit area of cross section of the conductor, which is J is equal to I by A, current by area of cross section. The SI unit of current density is A divided by m square, or Am minus 2. So if you put J is equal to, instead of I, if you substitute the value of I here from here, NeAVd, okay, NeAVd divided by A, you can cancel this A. Then from equation 2 we get J is equal to NeVd, and the current density is a vector quantity and it is given by J is equal to J vector is equal to NEVD vector. Remember students, current is a scalar quantity but current density is a vector quantity. So the current density is given by J vector is equal to NEVD vector, and substituting the value of Vd from the drift velocity, we get Vd is equal to minus E tau capital E vector divided by M from the above equations, and we get J is equal to minus N dot E square, because we have a E in this drift velocity and also in the J. So N E square tau into E vector divided by M. Instead of this values, we can put sigma. We take the direction of conventional current density as the direction of electric field. So the above equation becomes J vector is equal to sigma into E vector. That means here the sigma, which is equal to N E square tau by M, is called the conductivity of a conductor. The equation J vector is equal to sigma E is called the microscopic form of Ohm's law. This is called the microscopic form of Ohm's law. So the inverse of conductivity is called resistivity rho, and the resistivity rho is equal to 1 by sigma, and if you substitute the value of sigma here, which is Ne square by tau divided by M, instead of in the inverse we put M in the top, so M divided by Ne square into tau. Now let's move to the important law, which is Ohm's law. Remember students, the very important law in this chapter is Ohm's law. Consider a segment of wire length L and the cross sectional area A. The Ohm's law can be derived from the equation J is equal to sigma into E. When a potential difference V is applied across the wire, the net electric field is created in the wire, which constitutes the current. So it means that electric field is uniform in the entire length of the wire. Here the length of the wire is L and the potential difference is voltage V. That's why we put V is equal to E into L. And as we know the magnitude of the current density value, is it? We know the magnitude of current density value, that is J is equal to sigma E or sigma into V by L. Okay, instead of E we put this L here, so E is equal to V by L, and substituting that value of E here, sigma into V by L, and we know J is equal to I by A, so we write this equation as I by A is equal to V by L. I by A is equal to V by L. By rearranging the above equations, we get V is equal to, this potential difference is equal to current I into L divided by sigma A. Current I into L by sigma A. This is the values we get. The next misconceptions. Okay. There is a common misconception that the battery is the source of electrons. Is it true? Let me show a battery which is having a electrons which is flow from negative to positive. Dear students, when a battery is connected across the given wire, this given wire, the electrons in the closed circuit resulting the current. That's why it used to glow. Battery sets the potential difference, that means the electrical energy, due to which these electrons in the conducting wire flow in a particular direction. You can see this. Thank you students. See you in the next class.